Welcome to Dual Enrollment for summer 2022. We're excited to welcome you to your first semester as a dual enrollment student. And to any continuing or returning students, we welcome you back. My name is Kristen Corkill, and I'm the Director of High School Initiatives. And I have the distinct pleasure of working with our school partners and students throughout DeKalb, Newton, and Rockdale counties. This information session is designed to give you the important tools that you need to get started on your semester in the dual enrollment program. There's also more detailed information on some of the topics we'll be discussing on the GPTC website. Make sure you take some time and review that information after reviewing this video. Take notes as you go, and if you get to the end and anything was unclear, or if you still have questions, please reach out to the Dual Enrollment Office. We're here to support you on your journey. Before we go any further, I want to make sure you're aware of the laws that govern dual enrollment in Georgia. These eligibility requirements were put into place beginning summer 2020. So if you've taken classes previously, or if you have a sibling or a friend who took classes in previous years, these rules may be different. Dual enrollment funding is capped at 30 hours. Students who are in 11th and 12th grade can take academic classes like English, math, science, and CTAE courses that align with the pathway, like computers or business or welding. 10th grade students are only eligible for CTAE courses. Another change, students are no longer able to repeat courses due to not passing or withdrawing from classes. Also, students who withdraw from 2 classes during their entire time in the dual enrollment program will no longer be eligible for funding. You do have to maintain a 2.0 college GPA to remain eligible to receive dual enrollment funds. All of these rules apply to all of the colleges you've attended. So if you've taken DE classes at another institution, those attempts will count towards your credits here at GPTC as well. Now, all of these rules are for receiving dual enrollment funding. Students do have the option of paying for classes themselves. If you pay for a class yourself, it is up to the high school to determine if the class will count on your high school transcript. Before enrolling, please make sure you've met with your high school counselor to discuss your interest in the dual enrollment program and your class requests. I also encourage you to review the Georgia Futures website to see more detailed information on the dual enrollment funding eligibility, to review your Georgia Futures status, and search the approved course directory. Now let's talk about dual enrollment. GPTC is one of the oldest technical colleges in Georgia. Covering a 3-county district of DeKalb, Newton, and Rockdale counties, we have a large and diverse student body that represents the community that we serve. Students choosing GPTC enroll in an open access institution, meaning that all students are accepted to our college, but placement scores will determine your course eligibility. Students can take classes at a GPTC campus in DeKalb, South DeKalb, Newton, and our newest campus in Rockdale County, can take classes through GPTC Online, and high school students that are attending a partnering high school that offers classes during the high school day, you can also take classes in your high school. We have agreements with all of the colleges in the Technical College System of Georgia, guaranteeing transfer of credits, and a partnership with the University System of Georgia, guaranteeing transfer of 28 core academic classes. We also have additional agreements with other colleges and universities, both in-state and out-of-state, so students can feel confident that their experience at Georgia Piedmont will set them up for the future. When you applied to GPTC, one of the questions on the application was, what program of study are you going to pursue? Many of you probably selected interdisciplinary studies in order to take general education classes. You may have had an interest in a particular subject area, like criminal justice or industrial mechanics. Whatever your pathway is, there are different levels of coursework that are offered. A TCC is specialized curriculum, and some can be completed in as short a time as 1 semester. These TCCs are preparing you for a career. Diplomas are similar to TCCs in that they're specialized programs in specific career fields, but can take up to 2 years to complete because they have more classes required. An associate's degree is a program that can transfer into a four-year college or prepare you for a career. Whatever your program of study is, this will guide what classes you take while enrolled. If you sign up to do a computer programming degree, you're not going to be taking a welding class. And if you signed up for automotive, it would not make sense for you to take cosmetology classes. Your programs of study help keep you on track towards your credential and your high school graduation requirements. So let's get ready for classes. In order to register for classes, you must have a Georgia Futures funding application on file or have communicated with your dual enrollment coordinator that you'll be paying for classes yourself. It's important that you register for classes with your coordinator for all class registration and schedule changes. This is how we can better ensure you're taking approved classes and are on track to complete your credential. It's also important that you've met with your high school counselor. All permission to participate in dual enrollment and receive funding is required to have the permission of your high school counselor. If you register without that, you may be at risk of not having funding applied to your classes, and you would be responsible for the cost of class. So it's important as you're going through the registration process, you're in touch with both your high school counselor and your dual enrollment coordinator. At GPTC, academics and technology go hand in hand. Every student who has been accepted to GPTC and registered for classes has a GPTC account assigned. This information was sent to you via email with your acceptance to the college. GPTC uses a single sign-on where one username and password grants you access to all of your accounts. It is important that you're logging into your GPTC email and other accounts regularly. Your GPTC email is the way the college will communicate with you, so it's important that you're checking that regularly. We will not contact or communicate with you on personal email or on your high school email account, so it's important that you set your GPTC email up and review it regularly. Your official student records are located in Banner Web. This is where you're able to see your class schedule, your final grades at the end of term, and your personal information. During the semester, all classes utilize the learning management system called Blackboard for accessing homework and assignments. This is true if you're taking a class in person or online. Navigate is a student portal to communicate with your advisors and faculty, map out your credentials, and see your student information. I encourage you to spend some time setting up these accounts and making sure they're active before the semester begins. Remember, it's your responsibility to make sure you're logging into your accounts regularly and making sure that you're on top of all of your GPTC information. Many GPTC courses will have textbooks built into the class through Blackboard. This is called OER, or Open Educational Resources. When you access your class in Blackboard, you will see instructions about how to access the textbook information. If you're taking a class that requires a physical textbook, that information will also be posted in your course information. Dual enrollment students who receive a physical textbook receive those materials from the GPTC Bookstore. You can submit an email request to the bookstore or go to the bookstore during posted hours. The books that are physical textbooks are rented to you for the duration of the semester. At the end of term, you must return the textbook and in good condition. Otherwise, you will have a financial hold on your record for the cost of that textbook. Until that financial hold is resolved, you're not eligible to register for additional classes or have your transcripts released to other colleges or universities. If you have any confusion on what your materials are, please review the class syllabus. Also, be advised you may be in a class that requires you to purchase materials that are not part of the dual enrollment funding program. like uniforms, or special equipment, like cosmetology kits. If you have any questions about your classes, please contact the Dual Enrollment Office. As a reminder, it's your responsibility to make sure that you have all of the materials at the start of term in order to have a successful beginning to your semester. Make sure you're keeping track of important dates and deadlines for Georgia Piedmont. Summer classes start on May 16th, and this is the first day that you're able to log into Blackboard and begin participating in classes. If you're taking a class that meets in person, make note of your schedule and prepare to begin attending on the day of the week that the class is scheduled to meet. If you have registered for a class that meets in person, make sure it does not conflict with your high school schedule. GPTC classes will begin before the high school year is scheduled to end. Another important date is May 22nd. This is the last day of the drop add period and the last day to make any schedule changes. After May 22nd, the schedule is locked. You're not able to add or drop classes, and you're not able to move into different sections of the same type of course. You also have to complete what's called the no-show assignment in the first week of the semester, where you will be dropped for non-participation. May 30th is the payment deadline. If you're taking a class as a self-pay student, or if you're taking a class that has a lab fee that is not covered by dual enrollment funding, you do need to make payment by May 30th. The last day to withdraw from a class with a W is July 22nd. But remember, as a dual enrollment student, a W will count towards your attempts for funding purposes. And if you have 2 withdrawals, you're no longer eligible to receive dual enrollment funding at any college. Final grades are due on July 28th. After grades are posted, GPTC will send a grade report to each high school for your high school records to be updated with your GPTC grades. You will not need to request a transcript to be sent back to your high school at the end of the semester. Every semester, we will review your academic progress. To be considered in good academic standing, you have to maintain at least a 2.0 college GPA and successfully complete 67% of your class attempts, meaning you're passing classes with a C or better and you're not failing or withdrawing. If you do, you will have 1 semester to raise your GPA or your academic progress. If in that semester you do not improve your standing, you will be suspended and not eligible for additional Georgia Futures funding. Remember, there's been a change to dual enrollment where students cannot repeat classes and receive funding, and you cannot withdraw from 2 classes or you'll be considered ineligible for future funding. The 30 credits that you receive funding are for all attempts and not just classes you pass. So it's very important that you do well in your classes. They're part of your college transcript and can negatively impact you down the road, even after you graduate from high school. Now let's talk about services available to you. As a dual enrollment student, you have access to all of the student services and activities that any GPTC student does. Remember, your GPTC accounts are how the college will communicate with you and how you will access your coursework throughout the semester. If you have any technology issues, you need to make sure that you report them right away to tech support. We cannot assist you if we do not know that you're having a problem. So it's up to you to make sure that your student accounts are active and that you're able to access all of your GPTC accounts, including your email, Banner Web, Blackboard, and Student Navigate. At the college level, students who receive accommodations inside or out of the classroom must self-identify with the Special Services Office. Your IEP or 504 plan, or any other arrangement that you have in place with your high school, does not automatically transfer to the college. If you do not register with our Special Services Office, your accommodations will not be in place. Please be advised, services begin once all documentation is submitted and complete, and services are not retroactive. Meaning if you do not register with Special Services at the beginning of term, but decide later to turn in paperwork, you cannot go back to the assignments that have already happened to do any kind of makeup work. So, if you are a student with an IEP or 504 plan or require reasonable accommodations, Please make note of Ms. Greenwood's contact information. You can also find more information about special services and the process to register to establish accommodations on the Special Populations website. When you enroll in dual enrollment, you have access to all of the campus amenities and services available to any GPTC student. This includes the GPTC Library, the GPTC Bookstore, tutoring and academic assistance in the Student Success Centers, and student clubs and activities that are hosted throughout the year. These are just a few of the opportunities that are available to you as a GPTC student, and you're encouraged to make use of all services and activities available while you're enrolled in the dual enrollment program. Library services and librarians are available to you as you begin your coursework. As a student at GPTC, you have access to both the in-person resources and online databases and books throughout the state to assist with research and writing assignments. The library also has a library loan program for students to check out laptops on a short-term basis. I encourage you to visit the library's website in order to learn more information about the library and accessing resources available to you as a GPTC student. Library services and librarians are available to you as you begin your coursework. As a student at GPTC, you have access to both the in-person resources and online databases and books throughout the state to assist with research and writing assignments. The library also has a library loan program for students to check out laptops on a short-term basis. I encourage you to visit the library's website in order to learn more information about the library and accessing resources available to you as a GPTC student. What we've talked about today and much more is written in the student handbook and on the college catalog. These two items are found on the college's website and are important tools as you navigate your time in dual enrollment. Please take time and review these documents and the information contained in them. Consider them to be the contract between the college and you, the student, and they outline your rights and responsibilities as a GPTC student. Also, even though you're still enrolled in high school, you are considered a college student. There is a law called FERPA that quite simply puts restrictions on what information we can share with anyone other than the student or the high school partner. This means that if a parent or guardian calls and asks what your grades are or wants a copy of your schedule, we're not able to share that information. There is a FERPA waiver on the GPTC website that students can complete that will give access to the student record. So students, if you want your parent or guardian to be able to call up and ask questions about your student information, please fill out that FERPA form. This has been a lot of information. I hope that you feel better prepared to start the semester. I do encourage you to review the dual enrollment webpage and refer back to this video if you have any additional questions. The more you know, the better prepared you are. If you have questions about what you heard or are still unsure about some of the information presented, please make sure you reach out to dual enrollment at gptc.edu. This is the quickest way to have your questions answered or to arrange a time for a phone call or appointment with a dual enrollment coordinator to have the questions answered if more in-depth information is needed. I thank you for your time. We're so glad that you're joining the dual enrollment program here at GPTC, and I wish you all a wonderful semester.